You're listening to Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. Our show provides listeners with an insider perspective of Texas A&M athletics and its greatest supporters. This podcast will bring you exclusive interviews with coaches, athletes, donors, and the dedicated staff of Aggie Athletics and the 12th Man Foundation. You ready? Let's dive into today's episode. Howdy, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Answering the Call. This is your host, Ivy Robinson, and I am in studio today with Texas A&M men's basketball guard, Manny Obaseki. Thanks for being here and coming on the show today, Manny.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
To begin, Manny, can you tell our listeners a little bit about your background, where you're from? Tell us about your family.
Yeah. I'm from Aggieland, Texas, a little bit north of Dallas, 45 minutes from where Wade's from. I come from a four-family household. I have a younger brother, 20 years old, my mom and dad. I also have two godbrothers and a godfather. My godfather played a crucial role into my development. He introduced the game of basketball to me. He kind of just gave me an idea of like what I was doing. And I remember back in, I want to say pre-K, kindergarten, I was kind of like looking at the rim at recess, and my godbrother came over to me and it was just like, "You're tall. Do you want to play?" I was like, "Yeah, I would like to play." And started on the team. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I enjoyed doing it. Worked on my game and have it on go ever since.
So that was the first moment you decided to play basketball after they encouraged you to take it up.
100%.
So was basketball the very first sport you ever played?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ran track and field like in middle school. Then freshman year, I stopped. But I was actually all right. It was fun.
What'd you run?
So I ran the 4x4, 4x2, and I was really good at high jump. I think I still have the middle school record. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool. And they said nobody's really touching it. So
What's the record?
I think it was 6'4".
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was 6'4".
6'4".
Yeah, it was 6'4". I really enjoyed high jump. I loved the process, learning the art of the jumping, just kind of like the steps.
That translates well to the basketball court too when you're dunking.
It was cool.
I actually I attempted high jump in junior high school, and
Yeah.
6'4" was definitely not my record. I'll just say that. Very cool. Okay, so you ran track, did high jump. Did you do anything else outside of sports in high school?
No, I mean,
Sports was the life.
basketball has always been my main focus. Never really thought of anything else outside of it. Thank God I did.
Do you have any family members who played college or professional sports?
So my dad, he played soccer in Nigeria. Now, I don't know how far he went with it. He said he was all right, but my mom, she played volleyball in Nigeria as well. And my godfather, he played basketball at Mississippi Valley State.
Very cool. When you were growing up with your siblings, how did y'all spend your free time? What were some things y'all would do together for fun? Yeah,
man. In the city of Aggieland, it's not a huge town, but it's a pretty good sized town. So there's things to do. Me, my brother, my godbrother, we used to like go to the mall a lot. I mean, we would spend so much time together, go to each other's houses. We like to watch movies. We watch a lot of NBA basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll heckle some players. We'll get on some players, some teams. We're Lakers fans, so we love the Lakers. But as of the past couple of years, they haven't been performing. But I mean, our life has always been centered around basketball. So I never really had a lot of free time. I would always be at the gym from 9 a.m. as soon as the rec opened till 9 p.m. till the rec closed. So we would always be in the gym just playing, pick up, working on our game, workouts, tournaments, of course, practicing. So when we had a little bit of off time away from the game, I feel like we would just do things that kids do, just watch movies, you know what I'm saying, go to each other's houses, talk about whatever, and just have fun, chill out.
What do you appreciate most about your hometown?
Oh, man. I didn't realize this in that moment, but as I continue to get older, like just my mom and dad, they worked really hard for me to be raised in an environment that's not known for the wrong things. And like I could have
Mm-hmm.
easily been raised and put in a position where, you know what I'm saying, a lot of kids don't really make it out of. And the city of Allen, there's a lot of good people, a lot of genuine people, really easy to talk to, really easy to befriend and be around. And what I was doing with basketball and kind of just like the whole community was starting to like gather around me and support me. You know, I'm really thankful for those people that believed in me and gave me a chance and opportunity. There's so many things I'm grateful for being in that situation, being in that city. But I just enjoyed peace, the love, the togetherness, and there's been a lot of good hoopers that's come out of Allen. I'll name a few. Isaiah Stevens, so he's with the Heat right now. Jalen Tyson just got drafted to Cleveland. We got Cameron Christian, he's overseas. Jalen Scott's overseas. Like Gabe Warren at Rice. There's a lot of kids from that area that have blossomed and made something of themselves. So I'm kind of grateful to be around that as well.
That's exciting. And to be a part of that legacy, right?
Yeah,
Kind of the.
100%. Yeah.
So you mentioned Allen was a community full of genuine people, and you appreciated the family type atmosphere. So do you think that's what drew you to Texas A&M? Because we're known here, obviously, for the 12th man, the support, the camaraderie, our fans,
Yeah.
and our donors and season ticket holders and
Yeah.
student.
Yeah.
So would you say that's what drew you to Texas A&M?
Man, yeah. I would say that was a big part of it. On top of just an amazing program and coaching staff that that I'm a part of. But I remember first getting here before, and it was right before COVID hit, and just shaking hands with the donors, and even now, like I'll be somewhere and someone will come up to me and give me their well wishes and tell me they love me, give me a hug, or I'll take a picture with them. Like it's not even for the fact that I have a certain status. Like I could care less about that. It's really the fact that I'm giving hope to like kids and like families that are watching. My work is it's shedding like a light on the audience and the people in this community that haven't really seen A&M be where they want to be in the past few years since AC was here. So like I just enjoy seeing the smile and the warmth on the people's faces whenever they see us and they watch us play. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think that's what I truly do this for.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things for sure.
Manny, how do you think your teammates would describe you?
That's a good question. One, I would say I think they would describe me as hardworking. My work ethic, I pride myself in that. I feel like that's one of the reasons why I'm here. And I think that also kind of sets an example for them to work harder as well. They would say I'm a really sweet, genuine person off the floor. Just like I care for everybody. I want everybody to be happy. I want the best for everybody. And I mean, I enjoy just genuine energy. I love positivity and being around people that care, being around people that don't act bigger than what they are. And because that's something that I've always looked up to, and that's something I've always been around. You know, so I think they would kind of see me as that. And I'm to myself. I'm pretty quiet. I don't really like do too much, and I'm not always out and about. But I think those are a couple things they would say about me for sure.
There's a lot of things I want to unpack there and ask you about as a
Yeah.
follow up. You said people who are humble and don't act like they have an ego, they treat everybody with respect. Do you think those values that you hold and how you approach relationships, did anyone teach those mottos or those values to you growing up? Was there
Oh,
anybody who really
yeah.
emphasized that?
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's so many people. I would say for one, Isaiah Stevens, who's with the Heat right now. He went to Colorado State. He was one of the first people that like he's not the biggest, he's not the tallest, not the strongest, not the fastest, but like he works. But like at the end of the day, he's just like me. I'm just like you. You're just like me. Like there's no difference. We just do something different than others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would say the greatest example as of late is my best friend Dexter Dennis. So Dexter, me and him to this day, he's one of the greatest people I've ever met. He's got me out of a lot of hard things that I went through. I love that dude. And I remember just talking to him and we would always talk and I would just listen to him and read and study him. And it was just one of the most important things. He's told me a lot of things, given me a lot of insight, a lot of wisdom. But I think one of the biggest things he's told me is like, yeah, I do this, I do that, but like that doesn't change the fact that I'm human. I wake up every day just like you, brush my teeth every day just like you, put on my shoes, put on clothes. Like that doesn't make me any better, any different than you.
Right.
And I feel like especially with the society, like people tend to judge and put you in a category or whatnot of by the amount of money you make or the type of clothes you wear and things like that. But I think especially for someone like him and for someone that's um, very decorated in what he's done in his collegiate career, it's amazing to see just the type of person he is every day. Wade as well. Wade easily for sure. You know what I'm saying? He could easily be like a jerk, but by the people he's been raised by and just the intent of his heart, that's what makes him who he is. So I have big respect for that. My mom for sure too has the biggest heart, and she taught me how to love and how to love correctly.
Staying on that topic, Manny, I know you have a motto that's
Yes.
just keep going.
Yeah.
And where did that originate? Tell us about that.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Thanks for asking that question. So throughout my years, or just me growing up to being where in the spot, like I used to have a lot of issues with confidence, self-esteem, and I was very self-aware of that. And I knew it was kind of hindering me and like stunning the growth in my process of where I wanted to be, where I'm at, where I'm trying to go. But I always love to work. I love to come in every day and get better. I love to watch film. I just want to get better at whatever it is I feel like I'm not good at yet. And it's to the point where I'm obsessed with it. So it's like I was at a Nigerian camp my freshman year. So I tried out for the Nigerian Olympic team my freshman year. I think I made it to the last cut, and I was just around a lot of pros, college guys. Mind you, I was just leaving high school, so I didn't have that much, college or pro experience. But just being around those guys, it was awesome. And I remember one of them, they were just kind of like talking about this thing, like just keep going, like no matter what, just keep going. And it really stuck out to me. And like even before I got to that point in high school, like I just always told myself never give up, no matter what it is. But when I got to that camp, and I would just see like all those dudes, and it's like I can't believe I'm here. I was the second youngest there, so I was just like, I can't believe I'm here, especially for someone that doesn't have the best self-esteem and confidence in themselves. And I just kind of told myself, just keep going. Some of the players have their little brand of that, but I just kind of like always just went on with my own thing about it. And him and I, like, we still talk. We reach out to each other and things like that. He sends me stuff, like some socks and all that. But I remember I was at the gym one night when I was here, and it's my freshman year. I'll never forget it. I remember I was wearing like orange pants, like just shooting. And I was just like, man, I want to get this tatted. This has to be who I am. Because it's like, for someone like me, I can't make it and I won't make it without that. I went to go get it tatted, went back to the gym, shot. And I was like, man, God was just kind of like telling me, just keep pushing it forward, keep pushing it forward. So I got it tatted some more. So I got it tatted on my shin, and then I got it tatted on my left, I think on my left shoulder, and then on the other one is another mantra that me and Dexter we share together. So, and I think end of freshman year had a good run. Beginning of sophomore year wasn't the best. Broke my hand before SEC really began. One of the hardest times of my life. Off the floor situation was not good at all. So I was really going through it. I mean, I didn't know if I would ever get back to my old self or if my dream of even reaching NBA was possible. Junior year comes, not playing a lot. I'm working, but I'm not playing a lot. Like, I'm just kind of like, man, should I really like just give up, just let all of this go and just
kind of felt like the obstacles
yeah, it just wasn't getting
building
better
and
for
building.
me. It wasn't getting better for me, and I just felt like I had no hope, but I just never stopped working. And I just kept going and I kept going and I kept going because I kept telling myself at some point something's going to shift. Dexter, he's been by my side the whole time. So him and I would talk, like I would always talk to him, vent to him about things. He was the only person that I could really go to and talk to because he understood and he knew like how I felt. Our stories are the same or similar.
I was about to ask, like, did he have a similar?
Very similar at Wichita
story?
State. To this day, like I can't find the words to thank him because once everything started to happen, him and I, we were just kind of like, man, this is what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So like now the mantra is as strong as ever. And like that's just something that I'm going to continue to push forward for people that are in the same situation as me or that are just now getting to this level and don't know what to expect. And I just tell them, man, listen, don't think about or care about anything else but work, because everything else is gonna take care of itself.
Because everything else is noise. So just
Ex-
focus on what you
exactly,
can do, what you're
exactly,
contributing.
exactly. Stay faithful. Still keep believing. Believe in God, man. Be faithful in Him. Take care of your business, man. And whenever you work as hard as you can. Work for something, like your attitude towards it, um, your demeanor towards your work. Like it has to mean something. Like it has to be about, man, I'm trying to get better. Like I'm trying to get somewhere with this. I'm trying to impact someone with this. And a lot of people on the team, JKG, JKG this, just keep going this, just to say, you know what I'm saying? Like it's cool, man. It's cool. And it also gives me a lot of motivation as well, just to keep doing what I'm doing, because I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm helping people out by being who I am. So, yeah.
Man, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem.
At what point do you think the switch happened for you?
Man.
Was that at what point during your junior year?
So I remember another dude I want to give credit for, Obisa Beatty. Me and him, you know what I'm saying, he would try and talk to me. And I remember one day I was working out, he was just telling me, like, the work is already done. Like, you've done all the work that you needed to do. Now it's just about you doing it. You're thinking too much. Just go do it. And I remember this was South Carolina, we lost to them by 1. The game prior to them, we lost. It was something like that, right? And we were on that 5-game losing streak. And man, but I remember playing that South Carolina game. I was just like, man, I'm just gonna go do what I do. Like at this point, it's do or die. Let me just go out here and just do whatever I can to help. I did well that game, and they put me in the starting lineup for Georgia. And I remember just being in the hotel room, really like, this is like my last opportunity. That's how I saw it. But at the same time, I was just kind of like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. Let's show people why, like, you are who you are. And had a good game, 12, 5-5 that game. Boom. Won that game, went on to the next. And then it was like after Georgia was Mississippi State. And I played even better. And after Mississippi State, I was just kind of like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Then when we went to Ole Miss, I was just like, yeah, I am built for this. Like I am made for this. Because there's no way that I've went through all the stuff that I went through. Then a year later, I'm leading the team back, or helping, or at least not even leading, but like just being a part or helping in some way or some manner to get us back in the hopes of making the tournament.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure it was just a rewarding feeling, a moment for you to know all the obstacles you had already overcome
Oh,
to get to that moment. I'm sure it was surreal.
yeah, man. It's just, I remember Selection Sunday and just had a moment. It's really emotional. I don't really cry a lot, but that was really emotional, like that day, because it was just like, man, like, you are special. Like I just kind of told myself. That's when I realized you are special. You've overcome things that a lot of people would have been able to overcome, and you just stayed true to who you was, and you finally got the confidence and the belief in yourself to do what you needed to do what you've always wanted to do. That's just play at the highest level and do it, and be successful at that. Forget what's happened in the past. Just enjoy right now. And I was really happy for, and I wasn't, not even just for myself. I was really happy for Buzz, for the coaching staff. I was happy for the seniors that at that time, that it was their last chance to even have the opportunity of being in that position. For Eli, for Wildens, Boots, especially Boots. Boots was another. Him and Dex, like, those are my two best friends. So Boots is forever going to be my guy. My freshman year, like, him and I clicked, and he's been there by my side the whole time, man. And he's like my twin. Everybody knows, like, that's my twin. That's my twin, and that's my brother, for real. I love that dude as well. So thank God. Luckily, I've had a lot of good dudes along the way on this journey. Wade, for sure, especially. Us being from the same city, being from the same place. And, I'm saying, he's had my back. He's helped me get through some things as well. And even when if I have a bad practice or I'm having a good game, like, he gives me energy and he gives me life in terms of continue to be better and keep going. So sorry, I'm rambling off, but
You're good.
yeah, it's it's been a crazy ride, crazy journey, but I think God just works in mysterious ways, and everything He he makes everything happen for a reason. So
It's a process, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Once you start to believe that, understand, that's when you start to see things for what it is.
that's powerful. Manny, you had mentioned Buzz. What do you enjoy about the coaching style of Buzz Williams?
Him and I are the same because our minds work the same. Goes at 100 miles per hour, and we just want to work, and that's it. Like, we don't think about nothing else. And how can we get better? How can we continue to keep getting better? I think that's what he would say. Yeah, well, he's way more intellectual and smarter than I am in terms of putting words together and sentences and things like that. So, but you would still understand it. I think that Buzz, like, he understands me better than I understand myself sometimes. And Buzz is one of the greatest leaders I've ever seen. And when I say one of the greatest, I'm talking about, you put a list of like the greatest leaders that's ever walked this earth, he would be one of them. And that's not even like to sit here and brag on him. It's the truth, because that's what he walks in. And I love people that are honest with me. I don't do liars. I don't do lying. I don't do BS. I don't do any of that like that. I just don't. I don't put up with it. And I for sure wouldn't want that from no coach. And he's been honest with me ever since he met me at that Chick-fil-A back at Aggieland. First time ever meeting him was one of session 2 in Georgia, my sophomore going into my junior year in Atlanta, Under Armour circuit. Like, he's the same dude. He's always believed in me, and like, he knows and he understood what I was going through. But he respected the fact that I always kept working and that I always wanted to be better. And he knows like the intent of my heart. Like, he knows like how hard I go and how good I want to be. And just the type of person Buzz is, like, people don't really understand like reality like he does. Buzz lives in reality every day. Reality is crazy. Reality is hard. Reality is everything that a lot of people run away from. So it's easy for people to sit there and say, yeah, he's a little crazy, he's a little off. Like, how Buzz lives his life and how Buzz walks in his faith and how Buzz goes about his daily like routine, you have to do that. That's pretty much like prerequisite of you having a seat at that table. It's required to be successful in whatever you do, to be the best. The decisions he makes every day impacts not only him, but us and our families greatly. The coaching staff greatly. Like, just how he puts himself on that front line every day for everybody to be better, for everybody to have a chance. And I think that's what makes him special. And just how much he pours into me, how much he poured into me when he didn't have to. You know, like, I just love when Buzz talks. Like, I'm just that type of dude where it's like, I just like to listen to him. Like, that's why I always want him to talk to me. I always want him to like pull me to the side and tell me something. And he told me like, we need to be better. We're gonna get better at like putting the words together that's in my head and kind of just expressing it out loud. He's elite at that. I'm not. And like, I try to do it like him, but I'm not. I don't know if I'll ever get there. But
So just good communication.
amazing communicator, but like, it impacts you. It makes you really think and really want to take that next step into whatever you want to do. He just impacts me so much, bro. And I love Bud. He knows that, but I don't think he understands like how much I really respect his insight and his heart, his words that he gives to me. You know, it gives me a lot more power knowing that someone like him is talking to a kid like me, or someone like me who hasn't really done much yet, but is trying to find his way. That means a lot to me too.
Thank you for speaking to that. From me, as an outsider looking in, I feel like Buzz is just somebody who not only does he care about the game of basketball and really improving the program and making sure that Aggie men's basketball is elite, but I think he truly cares about his players.
He does.
He wants to invest in them as individuals.
100%. For any kid that's coming into college, that's going under Buzz, you're in good hands. So,
Manny, I want to change the topic a little bit.
Yeah.
And let's talk about your student athlete experience in terms of NIL, name, image, and likeness.
yeah.
Can you share how the ability to profit from NIL has impacted your life?
Man, I mean, the one thing about me, like when it comes to money, I don't really play the game for money. The money has never really been like the biggest concern for me or for what I get out of this. Yes, is it a plus? Yes, it's in some ways important. It's big. It's life changing. But at the same time, I'm extremely grateful. Like there's not a lot of kids that are able to say that they've made X amount of dollars at the age of 21, 22, 20 years old. And then there's former players that wish they could have had something even close to this, you know? So it's like, man, I just don't take it for granted. And I'm so thankful for the donors and for Buzz. Like, yes, we play for them and we thank them, but it's like, I wish I could give them much more gratitude, a sense of, a token of just gratefulness because they really don't have to do it. And I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's amazing. It's crazy and it's amazing at the same time. It's changed the landscape of basketball, college athletics, period. But I think it's a good opportunity for a lot of kids. It's life changing. It's life changing.
Staying on that topic of support, Manny, you are a 12th Man Foundation 1922 Fund Scholarship recipient. Can you tell us what it meant to you when you received a scholarship opportunity to come pursue an education at Texas A&M while also getting to pursue the sport that you are passionate about and that you love?
I always think about this because I've heard this before and it stuck with me. It's like there's kids that are on deathbeds, unable to move, unable to talk, having trouble breathing, that would give up an arm and a leg to have another chance, another opportunity to do what I'm doing. You're in conflict with yourself when you catch yourself complaining about something or saying this isn't that or this wasn't good enough or this food wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, these clothes are too small, too big, or whatever. Like, whatever the case may be, it's like, you got to understand, like, I'm in the top 1-2% of the world doing something that doesn't even seem too big or important at the time or sometimes. So it's like when you put that into perspective, there's kids out here that don't have enough food to eat, water to drink. Like there's kids out here that are sticks and bones. Like they don't have no nutrients. Some people don't have families. Like they don't have no support, no nothing. Like they're just on their own. Like there's just a lot going on. And when you put that into perspective, it's like I'm blessed. Like I'm extremely blessed. Yeah.
So, 12 Man Foundation donors and season ticket holders, many of them are listening to this podcast
Yeah.
right now. If you could sum up your feelings towards the 12th Man, towards the donors and the season ticket holders, what would you say as your message of gratitude?
Yeah. I mean, one, God bless all of you. Thank you for believing and just giving to a kid that you didn't have to give to, and a kid that's just from a mid-sized city in Allen, Texas, that just wanted to play basketball and be the best at it. I just thank you for not only myself, but what you've done for my family too. Like you put us in a position where we didn't see ourselves in 5, 6, 7 years ago. And it makes me happy to see you guys have hope and be happy and be excited and just enjoy watching us play. I love the fact that you guys are attentive and very involved and engaged in what's being built here. And I think it's all for you guys. I mean, you guys have built this place from the ground up, and it's only right that, we athletes give it back to you guys in terms of being successful and being the best we can, working as hard as we can each and every single day. So, I mean, I'm forever indebted to you guys. I really do hope you guys enjoy watching all the sports this season. But yes, I'm very thankful, and I think each and every single one of you guys that are probably listening to this podcast right now, I appreciate you guys more than you guys realize or understand. So thank you.
Manny, to wrap up today, what are your future goals
Yeah.
beyond your time at Texas A&M?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, first and foremost, I mean, I want to be a professional basketball player. I think that's been my dream ever since I was a kid. And I know for sure I'm going to reach that goal. I'm going to play at the highest level. I'm going to be one of the best at it. That's been my desire and my goal ever since I was a kid. I want to make an impact on my family in ways they couldn't have, on the city, the community where I'm from, and let everybody know that you can do it too. Like it's possible. Anything is possible when you dream and you chase it and you want it that bad, you'll get it. Just keep the faith and keep going.
Manny Obaseki on Answering the Call podcast. Manny, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12 Man Foundation. A special shout out to our incredible podcast producer, Megan Hoffman, and to 12 Man Productions for their generous use of the studio. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to every donor and season ticket holder for always answering the call through loyal support of Texas A&M Athletics and our student athletes. We will be back soon with more content. Thanks, and gig 'em.